All right, what's up, everybody? Let's see if this stream is working on X and YouTube. All right, X seems to be good. Let's go check YouTube. Hope everybody had a great weekend. All right. What's up, Raleigh? Appreciate you. Live on the YouTube channel, my YouTube manager. Thank you so much. I see you over there as well. Appreciate you. Let's go. Mustang, appreciate you. All right. So, if you are here on the X live stream, if you could please like and retweet the stream itself, I would greatly appreciate it. It is going to be recorded. As always, will be saved here onto my X profile. Also, is going to be saved onto my YouTube channel, but specifically here on X, if you do like and repost it, it will make it easier for people to find this video later on if they could not attend the Sunday night charting live stream session here live right now. So they can watch it later on when they get home from work or whatever it is later on tonight or potentially tomorrow morning, just to go over, some of the education charts that we're going to talk about here. So easier for them to find to watch on their own time at their own leisure. So please do give it a like and a repost. Would greatly appreciate it. Looks like a market is pumping a little bit after hours. It's like King Faces in the Discord just posted something here on ES. Looking good. Let's see how everything opens up in the morning. So I haven't even really got a chance to look at too many charts myself. So we're going to run things a little bit slower pace today and do some work together. So there are a few names that I am going to cover here just right out of the gate. But then going to do some, other homework as well, trying to look at other setups over here currently. But if you do have any charts or anything that you specifically want me to take a look at, please do put it in the chat. I will come over here and see what you guys put on here. Oh, I can turn it up. Hold on. Let's see. All right, how's the volume now? Is the volume better now? Turned it up a little bit. How we doing? There we go. All right. Yeah, I didn't have it turned up on the actual I didn't have it turned up on the actual microphone down here. I had it turned down for Discord. Base Hit said my boy got the Hugh Hefner PJs on right now. Yeah, I told you. They were the custom KC Trades pajamas, and I said I bought them specifically to wear when I do these Sunday night live streams. So we got the Hugh Henny pajamas on right now for Sunday night live stream Base Hits. Absolutely. That's what they're for. Yeah, let's fucking go. Let's go. All right. All right, so we're going to do the same three as always. More than let me get this off, Jesus. Hey, this actually worked out beautifully previous session. Look at this. So, I mean, the thing is with SPY and Qs, again, if we're just going to keep pushing, go back up to these highs, and then make new all-time highs, I mean, it is what it is. But let me get rid of all this stuff from the previous session. We're going to cover the same three names that we always cover: SPY, QQQ, IWM. After that, got a few names I'm going to cover real quick, and then I'll go in the chat as well and see what other names you guys put in there. I'm sure there's going to be a freaking bunch of them in there, and I'm not going to be able to sit here and cover all of those, but I will just see what stands out to me, and we'll go ahead and go over those ones. let's actually see, where is SPY and Q currently trading at right now. So as of right now, QQQ is up 0.33% in the overnight session. SPY is up 0.23% in the overnight session. SPY is currently sitting at 663.50. I have a level that's actually right up here. QQQ is currently sitting at 598. So SPY is currently at or near this red level as of right now, which is a pretty decent spot. If you look at SPY right here, I would not be surprised if you actually saw some kind of rejection somewhere up here overnight as of right now. But let me go ahead and get rid of these. Let me drag this over. Let me get rid of this. Let me drag this over, drag that over, drag that over. All right. So currently SPY is sitting at this red line right here. So a little bit of resistance as SPY comes up to that 663.50 area. This is actually where I wanted to see SPY go in the previous session. Whenever I was on live stream with the whenever I was on the live stream on Friday with the Wolf Trading team, I said I wanted to see SPY push up closer to 664 by the end of the close, and SPY got up near like 662, and then went after hours 662 point like 3 something, right? So I want to see SPY get up closer to about this area here. I think once SPY can get a break in base above this kind of this area up here, I think that can be a very, very bullish sign. So I'm not going to get too happy or anything with overnight sessions. Obviously, all of the stuff that we see here on the overnight session for, you know, SPY, QQ, Tesla, and everything, none of that really means too much. Market doesn't open up for another 12 hours and 34 minutes, right? So, I mean, a lot of things can happen until then, but I would like to see SPY get back above this area right here, mainly 664.66. I think if SPY can get above this right here, I would absolutely love to see SPY continue to push up higher, go closer to the 666 to 666.37 area, and then top zone is going to be up near 667 to 667.3. So psych level 30 cent higher, another psych level 30 cent higher zone right there. So for downside, honestly, for me, it's once it gets back down underneath the, again, 660 to 659.70. Psych level, 30 cent downside right there. Would probably see SPY start to come back down underneath 658 and then get that move back down to those previous day lows closer to 656 and 655. So nothing too crazy on SPY. I do like seeing that it is up green after hours. So SPY can open up tomorrow above 664 and start to get that move up here. I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. So again, nothing too much on SPY. QQQ again is at 598 right now in the overnight session. So right there. Ooh, look at that. Hit it on the penny. 598. Next zone for QQQ starts at 599 up to 600. You'll see right over here, just look left, previous price action, resistance, SR flip, move higher, comes back down, bears knife straight through here, retest, rejection, gets to move back down. So big SR flip spot right there. So I would like to see QQQ push above 600. So very simple. QQ above 600 I think would look absolutely amazing. To start looking for, you know, continuation downside underneath 593.4. I think we start pushing down to previous day low, and then Thursday session lows would be down there near 589.50 down to 588.50. So QQ currently here at the red line, essentially I would like to see Qs either break above that line there for bullish, and if it starts to break and close underneath that line down there, the 593.4 area, would be leaning a little bit on the bearish side. Going on the higher time frame, I mean, FinTwit's so funny right now. Everyone's calling tops, and a lot of people are saying bears are stupid and they're going to buy this dip up and we're going to push new all-time highs. I personally don't give a shit which way it goes, and I think watching these people go back and forth is absolutely hilarious. But if you look at the previous day right here, that's a very, very strong candle right there by the bulls. So, I mean, this was, you see a double top up here at 602, then you see a move back down right here to the daily 9, then you get a first close underneath the daily 9. Everyone starts saying, yep, that was the absolute top. And then, you know, what happens the next day? You get a green hammer candle that reclaims and goes back above the daily 9. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's funny to watch all these posts right now on X about all this, but I mean, would I like to see a little bit of correction and downside? Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be fantastic. I would like to see Qs potentially come back down to this area right here. You know, low 580s, 584, 582 area. I think would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, it hasn't touched the daily 21 EMA since September. You go to the freaking weekly chart, dude. Go to your weekly chart. We've been riding the weekly 9 EMA ever since this freaking rip up here in May after the big April dump and reclaim. Went back above the weekly 9 right there. Freaking been riding that bad boy, and we're still way up here. Is that the best weekly candle close? No, absolutely not. Is this a bear market and we're calling tops and shit like that? Absolutely not. One, we're still in a bull market. I don't think this is the time to be calling top and saying this is the end of the bull run. We're going to have a huge market correction now. I don't understand why a lot of people are saying that right now. Could it absolutely happen? Yeah, absolutely. But there's nothing that is leading me to believe. I don't know where they're getting confirmation from and what sources are getting this shit from. Or they're just talking out of their ass because we didn't sell off in August and we're not selling off so far in September. So maybe October is going to be the final, you know, red month where the market finally gets a good correction. I mean, I don't know. We are very much still in a very, very strong and resilient bull market for the time being. So, again, the weekly 21 EMA is at 556. As of right now, the weekly 9's at 580. I think it would absolutely be fantastic to see a move down to this area here. By the time it probably gets down to right here, that weekly 9, the moving averages would probably move up a little bit. So it's probably going to line up very, very close to that area. And then I would like to see a potential rip off of that and go see new highs later on. So again, nothing too crazy on QQQ. Main two things we're going to look for are candle closes and breakdowns below 593.4, and then candle closes and start breaking back above 600 cycle level going into next trading session. Last but not least out of the three is IWM. I already got that drawn right there. I'm just going to go ahead and take that off, but absolutely beautiful chart on, IWM. IWM finally just hit the daily 21. All right, hit daily 21 here, hit daily 21 here. Got a red shooting star at the top of an uptrend. Very nice for a short. Where does it come back down to? The daily 21, and they take it down to 237, and it pushes back off the daily 21 and reclaims and closes back above the daily 9 EMA up there above 241. So, IWM looking very, very strong. We drop it down to an hourly. Not, I mean, it's a squeeze on a monthly chart right now, but nothing too crazy. But definitely watch obviously this area that's right here. I mean, from here down to here, drag that box over, just look how that spot reacts. Just drag that right on over here. All right, and then same thing, go over here and then hit like these highs, hit that high, draw your box, drag it over, put it down a 15-minute right there. I mean, those are the main two most important things I'll be saying right here on IWM. You're going to have your midpoint area about right here. So 241.6 area is about your midpoint. Your overall resistance supply zone is going to be 245.7 up to 247.3 area. And then downside support just underneath 238, closer down to 237.2 to 235.4 would be your big demand zone. For IWM, I think it would be, who you trading futures right now, King Faces? For IWM, I mean, you get a break and reclaim right here, buyer step in, take it up to the top zone. Once it gets to the top zone, be looking to sell the long position and potentially be looking to flip short. As previous price action over here on the left side shows, this is where, the sellers are present. So I would accept or expect sellers to, still be present up in that area. Now, if it continues and you get the break and base above that, then you go up to the new highs. Not obviously chasing when it's up in this zone, because obviously this is an area of resistance or supply, right? And then comes back down here. If it breaks underneath, rejects, then it can potentially go lower. Point B right there would be for the short, but coming down and hitting this zone initially, if you see buyers step in and they reclaim back above this zone, this looks good for a long. Take it back up to the freaking midpoint right here. And again, if it breaks above that midpoint, then it gets a continuation, goes up to the top. Play these freaking zones in these spots where these buyers and sellers are at, just back and forth, ping pong, until somebody gets a break, close, rejection, and then get out of the freaking zone. So those are the three spots right here over on IWM that I'm going to be watching going into next session. What's up, dog? Casey Legend, what's up, City? There was some flow on Citigroup. We'll go look at Citigroup real quick. I mean, this thing's ripping. I mean, I ain't really looking do too much right here. I mean, came back down almost at the 21, reclaimed the daily 9. Evening Star got invalidated, pushing back up. I mean, failed bearish move, very bullish. Nothing too crazy. I mean, you're going to have that big support down at the 100 psych level on Citigroup. It's going to line up right there near that the daily 21. And then obviously right now, the previous high that's up here, which is around 105.6. And it's smack dab in the middle at 103.4. So, I mean, nothing, probably make it clear as day right here. Yeah. I mean, kind of clear as day where your rejection spot resistance is going to be. And then you'll see this is your SR flip spot. That's right there. Drag that over. Boom. There's your two little zones. All right, so look for buyers to step in from 100.75 down to 100. Look for sellers to step in at 104.9 up to 105.6. And then boom, you're going to have your midpoint right there, 103. So this is that's kind of all I see on Citigroup as of right now. Daily trend is still very, very strong. Nothing too crazy over there. Do want to cover ticker RKT, which is Rocket Companies. So RKT recently just hit the weekly 9, right? It's been holding the weekly 9 for a minute, came back down here, hit the weekly 9, and then had a really big buy off it. Came back down, hit the weekly 9, did not close green. So not the best thing, obviously, but overall, I do really like the chart on here, especially going to the, I got it pulled up over here as well. What chart is this one on? What time frame? Go to your daily. Get a trend line and hit this low here. All right. So that's one thing that I'm kind of watching right now is this trend line. If you go to the weekly, probably lines up there. Yeah, fairly close as well. So watching this trend line right here on RKT, if it can get back above where the 9 and 21 are sitting at, almost right on top of each other, and then you'll see I have that level that's going like right across. That's the alert letting me know it's kind of an important area to kind of mark that right there. So this is kind of what I'm watching. Looking for it to reclaim back above this level. It's like 19.65, 19 point, 670, 80, give or take a few cents. But if it can continue to push back above here and then do the SR flip and then push back up here to the highs. So overall, I do like the higher high, higher low, higher high. Hopefully, I'm going to be coming back down here, bouncing off of this, putting in the higher low. I think it looks good, risk to reward, to try for the long to get the push back up and then see if it can go make, those new highs shortly after. So I do like this daily chart right here holding this overall higher high, higher low trend. It does just need to get back over this resistance in these daily EMAs as of right now. So definitely something to keep on watch. There was some flow that came in on RKT. Here it is on the 4-hour chart. So riding underneath the 9 and 21 right now, and it pushed up there, hit the 21 above the 9, and it closed right between the two. So essentially looking to be long, risk the lows, and then target back up here to the highs. Hopefully it makes the higher high, right? Equal highs is up here, but if it can do the higher high, higher low, get continuation above that. So overall, I want to see if RKT can continue to hold this area here, as it's going to get tight within this little range, and if it can get the move above that and then get the push back up here to 22, 23 bucks. So I'm going to keep that on watch. Another name that's been having some interesting flow is ticker CMG. This is Chipotle Mexican Grill. So very interesting little chart right here on the 4-hour time frame. I would say you can probably articulate some kind of cup and handle action here, little rounded bottom, and then just this little area of consolidation that it's got going on. But if you look at this one on a higher time frame, so daily, you can probably see that cup, that handle a little bit better right here, and then also putting in the higher low. And then not to mention all these bottom wicks. Hey, King Faces just posted some flow. Yes, RKT $21 calls for November 21st. Guess who has RKT calls for a swing right now? This guy. So I really like these bottom wicks right here on CMG on the daily time frame. And then this previous day candle right here, very, very nice, almost a 2% day on CMG. And then you'll see where the daily 21 EMA is going to line up. It's going to be right near where those upper wicks are for the resistance. So it needs over like 40.3 area. And I think once it can do that, it can get that push higher. So really, really do like CMG right here. Go to the weekly chart on CMG. look how overextended this name is to the downside. Um, so not saying this is, going to be any kind of crazy bounce, but I mean, I think it's worth a shot. I really like seeing this resistance over here from back in September of 2021, and now it is retesting it again here in September of 2025. Big move downside, little green inverted hammer. I really wanted to see it actually close back above that 40.3 area up here, because if this weekly candle closed a bigger full green body up here in that, those three combined would have been your morning star reversal off that low, which is one of the best things that I look for larger time frame potential reversals, even for a bounce back up to retest, some of these moving averages up here that it's been rejecting. So, I mean, down here near $40, I mean, you can get a move back up to, above 42, potentially back up here to 44, 45, just risking back underneath, $38. Not too bad, but this name has been getting hit with some calls for January 2026, which makes sense. It's based on a weekly chart. Get some time to let the trade kind of play out. But I really do like the area where it's retesting, and I like how it's holding so far based on the two larger time frames. Again, the daily and mainly that weekly so far. So if we can get that move back above 40.3, would really like to see it. First intraday target upside would be 41.2, and then after that would be 42.25. I guess I can just go ahead and mark that on the chart while we're here. Let me mark like right there. So would like to see continuation above here and get that move up there. If it can really start to get a good move in, I mean, if it can get back up again to like that 44, 45 area, I think right up here would be absolutely amazing. Again, that's just over 44, 44.3. That could be a potential, full target for a full-blown reversal on the weekly. There is a gap to fill to the upside, a little bit insane, but it's from an earnings gap, and that goes up to $52. So if you look right here, there is a big gap to fill on the daily. So would definitely be interesting. Crazier things have happened. I've done a very, very similar trade like this on CVS before, and I think I sold it for a couple 100%, and I'm pretty sure it went like 2,000%, like 2 or 3 weeks later on. So buying contracts with some time for, January 2026 for a swing, just hitting these close targets, right up here in the low 40s, and then getting up here in maybe the mid 40s. And then being in runners by that point for a free trade. If those bad boys run up here and go test that gap to 47 up in the 50s, I mean, it'd be absolutely freaking insane. But yeah, and you'll see that big weekly candle right there, and that's again from the earnings back in July for that gap down. So a little overextended here to the downside. RSI came down to like 32, sitting at 35. I mean, obviously everything is freaking bearish on this name, but it's starting to look like it can show some signs of life down here of support. So again, risk to reward, I do kind of like it down here. RBRK, TEM, eBay, Silver, TTD, APP, MU, MSTR. Jesus, there's so many. I mean, MU, first of all, has been on an absolute tear. I mean, I took calls somewhere right in here and then caught the move up here, and I didn't catch the full move up there, but it's retesting the highs from June of 24. and it got a little tweezer top-ish right up here, and it's just retesting this area that's right over here. So could be due potentially for a little pullback. They did close it on a little green hammer candle. It's got some gaps to fill below, um, but a little gap down here that would take it to 147, back down to 142. But I mean, that previous day low right there is like just underneath 155. So I mean, if it starts to get some daily closes and breaking underneath 155, I mean, potentially could see some downside come into play. But I mean, this name has been absolutely on a tear. So not really too interested in that. MSTR. Jesus, there's so many things on this chart. I mean, MSTR previous day got obliterated. Not previous day. Thursday got obliterated. Friday, a little bit signs of life. Small gap to fill in the upside. Weekly, I mean, not looking the best. So it was holding that structure here for a minute until this bad boy happened. So potential break of structure to the downside, and that previous weekly candle looked like shit. So oh, there's that. Look at that trend line on the 4-hour just holding perfectly until it didn't. Look at this, just right in that trend line, and all of a sudden, kablam, just straight through and straight back down. So I mean, MSTR would really have to come back up, and I don't want to be like too picky and say like 350, but honestly, like 350. 340 is 350, then I'll be like, okay, it's looking somewhat decent again. Because even if MSTR bounces here and comes back up to the 330s area, risk to reward, I'd probably just short the shit out of it again. And starting around 320, 325, I think you could probably see some rejection there. I mean, the daily did start to pop back up, but it's just to retest these EMAs after this huge downside move. So I would expect to see the rejection that's up there. And again, yeah, especially right up here. Look, that gap fill will take it right up to 323. I think it probably just gets slapped again there. But again, on the weekly, it did just break that trend line. So doesn't look too hot whatsoever. So I saw AMD. AMD is not really doing too much as of right now. Sitting right at daily volume point of control. Just kind of going back and forth. I mean, nothing too significant kind of going on right here with AMD. Mark 150. Mark 150, 160, and 165. Those are probably going to be your main 3 pivot points on AMD. You'll see every time it gets near the top of that range here, big rejection comes downside. Again, big rejection comes downside. Hits the bottom of that range, bounces upside, bottom of the range, bounces upside. They all come back to the same place. And volume point of control right there in the middle, again at 160 psych level. I mean, that's the only things I would say to watch on AMD. Mark 1, 2, 3 spot. You can play it back and forth until you see a break and close above that structure, below that structure. Nothing else. Nothing else really too interesting on AMD. One other one too, because it was on Friday, took some lottos on it and it worked out pretty well. Was Crocs. Sydney Sweeney shit that happened. Look where it bounced at though. Couldn't have been freaking greater. Look at this chart on the weekly. All right. So look at these buyers step in over here. First of all, this is back in October 2023. Look at these buyers step in right here, right? Look at these lower wicks and they rip this shit right back up, right? All right. If you take that zone, put the zone here, right? Just drag it over. I mean, whoopsies. What would you think? I'm thinking long the shit out of Crocs. I mean, freaking send this thing back to 100. If Sydney Sweeney's wearing Crocs, then I'm going long. I mean, I don't know what other technical analysis you need in the world to go long on Crocs other than Sydney Sweeney walking around in a brand new pair. I mean, just long Crocs. I think it actually had to do something with Hey Dudes. Hey Dude, I believe Hey Dudes owns Crocs, but anyways, beautiful hold down here right off that freaking previous weekly support. I mean, jokes aside, I really do like this chart overall. I took some $78 calls for fun, zero DTEs for like 70 or 80% intraday when the news happened. Then Emp took like $80 calls. I don't remember what expiration he bought. They weren't zero DTEs. He bought some time. Those went in the money. I mean, you'll see where the news happened clearly. That giant green candlestick that's right there. And then it just rode the freaking intraday EMAs all the way up. So, and now it's at the daily 21. So, if it can start to get that continuation above this area right here, I think that's going to look pretty freaking good for Crocs. I mean, there is a gap to fill to the upside. Do I think it's going to go fill that gap all the way up to 102? I don't know. Potentially. If Sydney Sweeney starts doing some freaking commercials and Crocs, again, I'm going long. So you do have a potential gap fill in play up there. So keep this name on watch. It's not a ticker that most people look at. But I think there's probably going to be a lot of posts, and if there already hasn't been, there might be some charting on Crocs after what had happened on Friday's session. So definitely keep this one on watch. Ticker CROX. So gap above 95. Ooh, that will be interesting. TTD and APP. I've been trading those names a little bit more recently. I really do like TTD. Look, I already got the rocket ships on here, right? I really like TTD. I'm currently long TTD. In case no one knows that, I posted on X, posted the charts out prior, but I am long TTD as of right now. Really like how the previous day candle, it did come back down to right here, which underneath that is my stop. So I'm long TTD right now. If I get some daily candles closing underneath this area right here, underneath 46 bucks, I'm out. But I'm long TTD off of holding this area right here. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Go to the weekly, very similar to Crocs, right? Weekly, get that zone of support, drag it all the way over, right? TTD is just testing another area of weekly support right here. So last time it came down here and hit this area was in April, and this shit ripped all the way back up to 80 bucks, pulled back down to the midpoint around 65, and then ripped all the way up to 90. And then it just came straight back down. So what did I do? Risk to reward, I bought calls. So I currently do have call swings here on TTD. I really like the weekly support right here, and was getting a little iffy because I took them prior, and then this red candle right here got me a little iffy. It closed directly. It went underneath, which was already iffy, but again, technical analysis for me was close underneath of it, and it did not. It kind of closed directly on it. I Actually, I think it closed. Where did it close at? Closed at 46.76. Fantastic, above 46 bucks. So I stayed in the trade. And then TTD got a nice green hammer candle, came back down, retested again, but then buyer stepped back in. That's what I wanted to see to stay in this trade. So I do currently have a swing on for TTD. Really do like that chart. Another one, APP, app loving. There's already a rocket emoji that's on that chart right there. Very, very simple. That was just freaking. It's been riding the daily 9 EMA. It came back down, hit the daily 9 EMA. Just freaking. It's a buy the dip kind of situation right now, and then just ripped back up here and it went to the equal high. Look how strong this name is here on the weekly chart. Absolutely freaking love it. Took APP the other day on live stream on X and the Discord. Can't remember which ones I took. Took them this day. Took them right here. I want to say they were 640s. I think I took 640 calls. And then it consolidated, came back down, consolidated, and then came back down here. So I stopped out. There were lottos. I was looking to risk low of day, but because the move was taking so long and theta was coming in, they were burning the premiums a little bit faster than I anticipated. So I just closed it for the loss. Later on, literally right after I closed it, I said, this is one of those trades and names where later on the back half of the day, I was like, those can go in the money and then it's going to rip through it. And then those are going to go freaking huge green. So what happened was exactly that. It broke above this area right here and then went above 640. It actually went to like 642, 643. And then next day, it continued higher. Bought those contracts for like 500, sold them for a loss at 3. And I'm pretty sure they went to like, I don't know, like 1,000 or 12 or 20 or something stupid like that. Because there were people in the Discord that were still in them. And then it's still cruising up higher as of right now. But APP looks absolutely amazing. Just freaking strong as shit up here. I think it's continued to ride these daily EMAs and buy the dips on. They look fantastic. But I really do like TTD a little bit better just because it's the exact opposite. It could be getting some strength down here, and look at like what the chart looks like. Looks like shit. Sometimes those are the best spots to be looking to go long, is when they come down here and they look like shit, but the buyers are stepping in here, at the same places that they were stepping in prior. So as long as I continue to see that happen, that's the kind of repetition that you want to see. So I do like those two names. Yeah, APP is actually awesome. Can we chase APP? You can do whatever you want. FCX, yeah. So FCX had some call flow come in as well, and it closed a daily green inverted hammer candle, which is beautiful. So I'm long FCX right now as well. I really like this area of support on FCX coming down right here. I really do like this spot, and it hit it perfectly. Getting a green inverted hammer. I'm front running and looking for a green week on, or sorry, a green daily candle next to form on FCX. I want to see, hopefully tomorrow, would like to see a nice green candle push back up over 37 bucks, going closer to 38. With that, you would then have a morning star reversal just for wishful thinking. But huge move downside. Huge gap down here on the daily, and then just another daily continuation downside, and then a third one downside, and then a little sign of life down here. So risk to reward, I really do like it for going long down here. Again, look at that weekly candle. That is absolutely insane. So last time this area was tested was back in here in April, and then buyer stepped in and then pushed it up higher. So just retesting this area right here. Could it consolidate sideways and then knife straight through it? 100%. But again, big red candle. I mean, when you see big red candles like this come in, what you want to see after a big overextension downside, you want to see buyers step back in like here. So again, big red candle right here. What do I want to see next? I want to see a big green candle come in right here and see that move back to the upside on FCX. So again, risk to reward, I think it looks great. Stock that looks like shit. See some buyers step in and hold some previous areas of support. I mean, I'm looking to go long down here for a low risk, high reward call swing. So I really do like this chart right here on FCX to look for longs to get a push a little bit higher. If it only goes up to 38 bucks, it goes up 38 bucks. Maybe I only make, 50, 60%. But I mean, I'm not complaining about making 50, 60% on a trade. It takes me, 2 or 3 days to let it play out with contracts that have a little bit of time on them. So yeah, I really do like FCX. Carnival earnings this week. Let's see. I really do like my cruise lines. Everyone knows that. Let's go see. Does Carnival have earnings this week? Well, there's CCL, or not CCL. There's NCLH. Let me go type in CCL. CCL. Let me change. Dun, 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 dun. Why does it do that, Weeble? Why do you take away my entire chart setup? And now I gotta go find this shit again. Like, I don't know where it's at. Stop moving all my shit. Let's see. CCL. It's up 1.34% overnight as of right now. Let me drag this down. Earnings. Next earnings date says 9/29. That would be tomorrow. So yes, you are correct. It looks like it does have the earnings report coming out tomorrow. So that'll be interesting. So watch CCL for Carnival Cruise Line, watch NCLH for Norwegian Cruise Line, and watch RCL for Royal Caribbean. I do not like trading options on ticker RCL. I do love trading options on CCL and NCLH, preferably NCLH. CCL, they're really, really cheap. I think they're cheaper than Norwegian. They're both relatively cheap. I do love trading them for swings 100%. I'm trying to get this Weeble shit working, but it's not allowing me to click on this for some reason. So let me just pull this back up over here. I mean, I don't think chart technicals really matter on CCL. It's currently in a daily squeeze. Daily squeeze is moving downside. MACD is bearish. RSI is bearish. Because you're underneath the EMAs, and as of right now, you're putting in lower highs. So you do have support down here around 29, but it is underneath these daily EMAs and is currently in a squeeze that is moving to the downside. It wasn't a squeeze before that was moving to the downside. It did not fire. It curled back upside and then squeeze fired upside there. So could do the same thing. All just speculation, but earnings are a gamble anyways. Earning report can come out on CCL and it can be absolutely freaking negative, and this thing can just rip face. And then vice versa. Numbers can come out on CCL and it can be absolutely amazing, and then that stock just takes a shit and it just dumps all the way down. That's just how earnings can go sometimes. And then, I mean, it can happen after hours. It can go both ways. It can go all the way up, come back down, open up flat, IV crush everybody who decided to play earnings with weekly contracts. But overall, looking at the chart, daily is underneath the EMAs. And as of right now, it is lower highs and moving to the downside. Weekly is bearish. I said, okay, hold on. Weekly is bullish with a bearish sign. Um, this is not a good look. Um, Usually this candle right here, you want to see it to be green. I don't think I've ever seen this actually on a weekly chart. So there's something called an evening star, which is a bearish reversal pattern. Essentially, if this candle on the left side within this box, if that was green, this would be considered an evening star. But it's actually red because the previous candle was green and came down, closed underneath that one, so it closed the candlestick red. That's like a freaking 3 red bar evening star. Haven't seen that before. And it briefly went underneath the weekly 9, which has been holding, which is the blue line, been holding there. It held both times here, and it just retested it right there. And they took it back up here to the resistance, slammed it, and went straight back down. But the lower highs in this candlestick setup, that's bearish at the top of an uptrend. So, but it's holding the uptrend as of right now. If it would have closed underneath of it for the first time, I'd say, yeah, that's looking a little bit better for potential shorts. So it'd be interesting to see CCL. So keep an eye out on CCL and NCLH as well for a sympathy play there on those cruise lines. But we cover SPY, Qs, IWM, and like a shitload of other names, and we're coming up on an hour here. So I appreciate the ones that brought up a few of these ones for me to look at. There was flow on CCL for $100 calls. Ooh, interesting. See, wait, hold on. Are you sure? CCL, a $30 stock, $100 calls? What? No way. For what? January 2037? There's buying call options for 12 years out? What? Sorry, maybe 80, 85 is still kind of high. Yeah, 85 is still kind of high. But all right. Well, that's it for me, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out here on the stream. I am going to figure out how in the heck to get Weeble to stop taking my chart away. Like, why does it keep taking my chart away on here? I don't know how. I know you guys are looking at TradingView. Someone said my screen was frozen. That's just because I'm in another tab right now. I don't know how to freaking trade on Weeble Desktop. I still trade off my cell phone. I just use my monitors to watch flow at the same time, watch all the internals at the same time, and then watch 4 or 5 different charts that I'm currently potentially in trades in, and then live streaming on the other one. But I still trade and execute off my freaking cell phone. I would not be able to trade on Weeble Desktop with hotkeys to save my life. There's no way that I could ever do that. But it freaking took away my, I guess maybe I need to sign in. How do I sign into this shit? People that trade on desktop, I don't know how you guys do it. I would have to learn all these new freaking hotkeys and everything. I don't know if I could do it. I think I'd be much more efficient trading on my cell phone. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, Mustang, Dana, Rick. I appreciate all you guys. I'm not sure how many people we had on the live stream tune in tonight. Let's see. Make sure you do please like and repost it though on X. Again, it is recorded. As always, people can watch this later on. Someone said grab. Yes, grab is another decent one. There's a lot of flow that's coming in on grab. Let me see. Oh, we have like 1,500 people here right now. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, hanging out with me tonight as I do this little session. But yeah, grab's another one. It's been looking great. I would love to see grab honestly come back down underneath $6, go back down to like the low to mid fives, and then long it. So it had this beautiful inverse kind of head and shoulders right here, and then this lower high trend line. It broke above it, hit the neckline for the head and shoulders, came back down to this area of support, and then it ripped straight through it. So right here, that's I want to see personally. I want to buy the dip. I want to see it kind of go down to the 21, kind of wick underneath of it, see buyers step back in this area here, and then take this bad boy up higher. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. But I am seeing some flow on grab. But we'll see. We'll see what the market brings this week. So chart a lot of different things tonight. Tesla again, looking fantastic. What a beautiful chart. Finally broke out of the freaking consolidation that everyone was waiting for. Absolutely freaking love that chart. Is sitting up at a little bit of resistance. Seeing Tesla back at 440 is absolutely incredible. I wanted to see that rip through 355 and then go up to the high 370 area and then straight to 400. And it actually just did a small little gap above 400 and then just took off and went to 440s. So we're hitting around the highs from January. Would love to see the December 24 highs take it back up to fucking, above 480. Seeing Tesla start with the number 5, I think it's inevitable. I could be wrong. But I would love to see Tesla be above 500 next year. It couldn't happen this year 100%. Do I think Tesla is going to get above 500 this year? I think it's possible. I think it's possible to see Tesla. If you see a good, a Santa rally this year, I think Tesla could be one of the names that you could see pushed to 500. But if it does give a pullback, back under 400, I'm absolutely going to take advantage of that and would love to see Tesla push up above 500 in 2026. But yeah, that, and don't forget about TSLL. So I own TSL on like 3 different accounts, all of them relatively around $8 to $9. I'm up over 100% in both of those accounts as of right now. Look, I still got it right here. It says I buy shares here. This is where I buy my shares. Is every time that it came down to here, and it ripped all the way back up, came back down to $9 briefly underneath of it. And yeah, I think it's funny. I still have that on here, and now we're seeing this stock above $20. So you'll see we're hitting that high right there. So would love to see continuation on TSLL as well with with Tesla. So Nvidia is hitting the same resistance right up here near 185 on the weekly. Daily looking like it's ready to go though. I mean, you got these higher lows. Beautiful. Watch this right here on your Nvidia. Just hit that trend line. So put a line, put a zone right across here in the middle around this like 177, 178 area. But hit that trend line here on the daily, mark those higher lows. If it breaks the structure and it breaks underneath like 173 area, like here, then you're probably going to see, that downside. I would like for it to, continue, because essentially this is, you're kind of getting like an ascending wedge or an ascending triangle. So that's when your stock is making, you know, you're kind of going up in this area right here, but you're going to hit the same resistance that it just can't get over top of right here. And then as it gets going playing ping pong back and forth right here, it's going to get squeezed out of this thing. So the question is it going to get squeezed out and rip to the upside, or is it going to break the higher low trend and fail and go to the downside? But this is a beautiful chart right here on NVIDIA. So mark that zone to the upside. It starts around 182.7 up to 184.7. So mark that $2 zone that's right up there, and then mark around 177, 178 is your midpoint, and then just again hit that trend line for the higher lows right here. And if it starts to break underneath that in 173, I'd say we're probably out of consolidation. We're going to get a breakdown of structure, and then it would see lower. But overall, this chart is looking still very, very good. So it's going to get squeezed out soon as it continues to work its way up into this range, and then hitting this top level of resistance in this ascending, you know, triangle, wedge, pennant, whatever you want to freaking call it, until I can get that move out of here. I'm actually going to screenshot that. Put that over here so I can save that for later. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you. We covered a lot tonight. Again, 1,500 people in here hanging out, watching me chart. Appreciate you all. Again, please like and repost this. It is saved onto my X profile so people can watch it later. It is also going to be saved onto the YouTube channel. If you're over here on X and you have not gone over to my YouTube channel, please hit the link that's in my profile here on X. You're going to see all my links that pop up right there, and then scroll down to the bottom where it says Casey Trades YouTube. Go over there and do give my YouTube channel a like and subscribe. We're almost at 2,000 people over there. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, I'm going to be doing more content and putting a lot of videos over there. So, and I believe the delay on YouTube is less than X. So some people prefer to watch whenever I do live streams on my YouTube channel, especially when it comes to live trading sessions. So make sure you do that. So for the premium Discord team, I will see you guys here in the morning, ready to go, ready to start live trading for the week. If you would like to come hang out with myself, and I have a group of other amazing alert analysts for day trade, swing trade, futures and options, long-term shares, equity, the whole 9 yards. We kind of do it all. We have an amazing premium Discord team. You can click the link that's in my bio. On my X profile, it's the same link that's up there on the screen, and that'll bring you over to my store where you can come hang out. Use code Casey50 if you want to join for monthly. And for $50 a month, less than $2 a day, you can come hang out and watch me live trade, live teach every single day in the Discord in front of hundreds of freaking people. We have a great time joking around, watching the charts, learning, trading, making money all together. And again, I have another group of amazing analysts in here who share all of their trades, entries, and exits with all of us as well. So it kind of fits everybody's style. So if you're looking for a trading community to come try and hang out with, absolutely come and check us out. So I will be over there tomorrow morning, ready to go. For the premium Discord team, everyone else, hope you have a